Have mercy on me, have mercy on my soul. Don't let my
Gabe Coon, what's up, brother?
What up, dude?
What about this? Come on, let's start with this. What do you think?
Dude, it's hard not to love, right?
Yeah.
It's hard not to love.
We're out the attic.
Yes.
From the attic to
The attic was nice, though.
attic,
Don't trash
I'm
the attic,
not
brother.
trashing it. I'm not
Yeah,
trashing
chill
it.
out.
It was a great home, but it's like we're kind of in the penthouse now.
Yeah, we are. This is, penthouse suite.
Yeah.
We're
this
hooked
is-
up.
This is legit.
Bluff City Media style. What you know about it? We even got the Hush Y'all sign.
Yeah.
Big golf fans,
Big,
you and I.
yeah.
Big golf guys.
Big St. Jude Classic guys.
Yeah.
Okay, so my friend, usually at this point in the episode, we ask each other, "What'd you
But
do
we were
this
with
weekend,
each other
man?
the whole weekend.
How was the weekend?" I saw you on Friday night and on Saturday night. So if this episode is not electric, then we can't hang out anymore.
Okay.
So
All right.
we really
where do you want to start?
we gotta bring it. Well, let's
Friday Night Stripes was a fun time. I enjoyed myself. Got to stay down on the field for a little bit, but that's not the story, right?
That is not the story.
You got called Freddie Mercury on the way in the stadium.
I did, yeah. As soon as I walked in, we Laird Veach had a press conference. Walked out. Kenny stayed in the media room, and this security guard,
Yeah,
I'm walking past her.
usher type
Right.
person.
I'm walking past her, and she goes, "You look like Freddie Mercury."
Didn't think anything of it.
Didn't think anything of it. I actually have heard that like
I
3
kind of can
times.
see it. Yeah.
Yeah, Kenny-
dark hair, mustache.
Kenny pulled up a picture the other day. It was a little closer than I realized. Maybe a little bit closer than I'm comfortable with. But we did decide it'd be a heck of a Halloween costume. If the
That would be
mustache-
pretty good.
Yeah.
That would be pretty good. You got to wear like the
wife beater,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some very tight slacks or whatever.
something,
Something like that.
some leather pants.
Leather pants. Tight leather pants is where I was going.
So she says that no big deal. That's happened. I
Although
think-
hold up real quick.
Okay,
Your
go ahead.
jeans were pretty tight though anyway.
I'm
You
not
do
with
wear
that.
tight pants. You're a tapered guy.
I am.
Yeah.
Is that
Smuggling grapes.
All right. Okay. So anyway, I think nothing of it. That's like the second or third person that's told me that. So I just kind of laughed it off. Meet you down on the field. We hang out for a couple hours. Pretty chilly down there.
Yeah.
If I don't,
It was all right. I had a long sleeve shirt. I was cool.
you were pretty nipped up.
I mean,
Let's not lie.
a little bit.
You were pretty
But
nipped
I was
up.
cool though. I mean, I have insulation unlike you.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is true.
Yeah.
So then, once again, this is far from the mind at this point. A couple hours later, we're walking out of the game. We're waiting on Kenny to get his stuff out of the media room, and she walks up to us, politely asking for a smoke, which we tell her we don't have.
We don't have. Yes.
And then I had already told you and Kenny that someone had said I look like Freddie
And you said,
Mercury.
that's her.
I was like, that's her. She's the one that said I look like Freddie Mercury. And then she proceeds to say to us, what?
You're gonna make me say it.
I want you to say it because I know it's gonna be funny.
You're gonna make me say it.
Yes.
This was the most uncomfortable. I mean, and some people, if we weren't such good sports, right? It's just sexual harassment in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But she goes, I know Freddie Mercury was gay. I know he
Yeah.
was gay, but he used to get me so wet. That's word for
Verbatim.
word what this
Verbatim.
woman said.
Straight
And
to
I
our
go,
faces.
What? What are you? We're outside the media room.
Yeah.
You're talking to the media members, if
Right.
you will, and that's what's coming.
She
What comes
let it-
out of her mouth.
She let it rip.
Yeah.
Didn't check up. Didn't think twice. Didn't stop talking. Just kept going. I mean, I'm not lying. I was laughing so hard. I was like this, and my ribs were cramping. I almost hit the concrete because I've never heard something so out of
Christian,
left field.
I couldn't even laugh though because I was like, I was so shocked by the whole thing. Like I didn't laugh until we started walking away. I was like, did she just really talk about her lady parts and Freddie Mercury to us?
To me,
Yeah,
Who-
and you were Freddie Mercury.
who she said looked like Freddie Mercury.
She
And if you're
she
just
thought you were a looker.
if
She
you're-
thought you were a looker.
and if you're wondering out there, she was not a looker.
Hey, who knows if she comes across that? You comes across this. You can't do that to her.
I mean, okay, was she?
No, but that's not the
Okay.
point. That's not the point.
Okay, so shut
She
up.
was probably like well into her 50s.
Yeah.
She had attached eyelashes on to do a security job.
Yeah.
So that was something. And one eye was more closed than the other. I do remember. Can we even call it a lazy eye? I just think one eye was more closed than the other.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you.
But she quite enjoyed you, didn't she?
She did. And then after that,
good old Freddie.
If this would have happened without that, this would have been hilarious. But it just that stole the show. So Kenny walks out of the media room and she goes, "What are you doing up here, big fella? You need to be down on the field." And then
she's standing next to me the whole time while we were having a conversation.
And said nothing about you. And then we're like, he's the one that actually played for this team. And she was like, nah, you look like you could bust some heads.
Hell, Kenny's got some size to him.
Kenny's a big fella.
Yeah, Kenny's got some size to him.
So she
pulling guard.
For the first half of our night, she made our night. But then the night wasn't over at that point. We didn't bid our farewell.
We went to Hog.
We went to the old Hog and Hominy.
Oh, Hog's so damn good.
Shout out Michael Hubman and Andy Tyser.
Lord.
Those boys know what they're doing.
They knows what
they knows what they's doing, Skate. They do.
That Thunderbird. Oh Lord. The poutine. We had some poutine. Couple of beers. I had a couple beers. You didn't.
I did not. You, Kenny, and our guy from Tigers Untapped, Trey Lasley.
And I didn't realize Trey was like 6'3".
Yeah, Trey's for you guys out there that enjoy Tigers Untapped and don't know what Trey and TJ look like in person. Trey is a much taller
Trey's
fella.
tall, man.
Yeah.
That really caught me by surprise.
And I think he's drinking from the fountain of youth. You don't think so?
I mean, sure.
You okay? Did
he's
you?
He's in the beginning of his 30s.
He's like 32, but did you think he was 32?
I mean, not necessarily. 32. You don't look old.
No, I'm not saying you look old, but
what am I then? Okay, if I'm 27 and I look like I do, I'm not fountain of youth. You're saying I look older.
I mean,
older than dirt.
No, I don't think you look old.
I'm 27 going on 43.
I would guess probably like 30, 31, something like that.
Okay.
But Trey, I would guess like 24, 25, and he's 32.
Okay.
And,
you calling Trey good looking?
He's not a bad looking fella. Not as good as looking as TJ, though.
Or Freddie Mercury.
Or Freddie
Mercury.
If Freddie Mercury does to you guys what honestly, he does to that
Christian,
woman.
I still can't believe that happened.
I mean,
that's just not like full disclosure, we never met this woman in our life.
No.
Just struck up conversation. That was probably the fourth sentence she said to us in a conversation after meeting us. Right?
Yeah, it was
fourth or fifth. It was unbelievable.
Top.
I've never had anyone. I mean, you meet some pretty strange people in this life.
Hey, but
that was a strange encounter.
She made for a heck of a story.
Yes.
And she was a nice lady.
Yes.
She was nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
She was just a little bit too forthcoming with information about herself.
Yes.
That you nor
and her bodily functions.
That you nor I wanted to know or hear.
No.
But we got the full spill. We walk away, and Gabe goes, that gave me mental images that I simply did not want.
I really did. I did not. They're still there. I actually had a nightmare last night. I woke up sweating, and this woman was part of my nightmare.
What was she doing?
You don't want to know, brother.
But yeah, we had a great time after that. Just went and hung out, ate some great food, wings, pizza, burger.
What do they call it? Fellowship. We had some fellowship.
Yes. That is for sure. Yeah. Got made fun of.
And man, you have a bunch of the burger. Oh my gosh, I forgot about this.
Yeah, it seems to fall to the back burner with everything else that happened.
Okay. If you're watching this, I need comments below.
And I'm gonna tell you the truth. He's gonna kind of be a douche, and I'm gonna tell you the truth.
He's a mayo guy, and that's fine. I'm okay with mayo on my sub sandwiches. Hell, I'll put it on a burger if I have like ketchup and mayo. Like I'm cool with that. He just got a plain burger with mayo on it, and then I learned via Kenny let it be known, he will order chicken biscuits from Chick-fil-A in the morning. Chicken biscuits. And he will smother them in mayo and eat them.
Smother is such a powerful
to hell with that. If you put any mayo on those things, it's smothered.
Yeah.
But he will put mayo on chicken biscuits.
Yes.
You're an insane person. That's fine, but you're insane.
Okay, so yes, I do eat.
You look like a mayo eater.
You look like a mayo eater.
Good comeback. I know you are, but what am I?
Exactly. That's a classic. I only really eat mayonnaise at Chick-fil-A. And yes, I eat it on the chicken biscuit and on the chicken sandwich.
No, it's funny. It's like no one else actually eats mayo at Chick-fil-A.
Well, I do. And secondly, I don't eat mayonnaise on my burgers. That's just the truth of the matter. You don't have to believe that. I know you saw me do it firsthand.
She did kind of shame you, though.
This is what happened.
I actually approve her shaming of Christian.
I know you do. I'm a plain guy. Like I'm not an onion, lettuce, tomato guy. Like meat and cheese, and I'm good. So I tell her, I want the burger plain, and she just kind of like looks at me like, you're weird.
You're at a nice restaurant. You're gonna get a burger plain. Okay, rock on.
And then she goes, not even any mayonnaise or mustard, like you said, pretty shamefully.
Yeah.
And
you
I
could
was
have
like,
said no.
I know, but I felt like she was staring straight through my soul. And so I said, yeah, you can put mayonnaise on it. And then you
can put mayonnaise
and then you D-bags go to telling her about how I have this mayonnaise fetish and that I just love mayonnaise. And I
didn't know the story about the chicken biscuits, and it threw me off. So it had to be that detail had to be thrown out there.
And then they drown my burger in mayonnaise,
which I took a bite of. Pretty good.
It was good.
Yeah.
But I did have to scrape some mayonnaise off of it because not any shame on the kitchen at Hog and Hominy. Shame on these two D-bags being Gabe and Kenny of making her think that I just wanted like a gallon of mayonnaise on my burger.
Homie, you put mayo on your chicken biscuits from Chick-fil-A.
That's fine.
I mean, that
I'm sure you have weird culinary things too.
Not particularly.
I don't buy it.
No, I'm serious.
I don't buy it.
I'm pretty normal. I like hot sauce on a lot of things. Hot sauce on my eggs. That's not weird.
I mean, that's weird to me.
No, but it ain't weird.
It's weirder than mayonnaise on a burger.
No. Oh, then on a burger, on a chicken biscuit. No.
Okay, I can accept that that's weird and that most people probably don't do that, but it ain't that much different.
Dude, I hear
mayonnaise
you put
on a
so
chicken
much
sandwich.
mayo on those chicken biscuits. Do you have to like lick it off the side because it's like overflowing?
You guys embellish.
That's what Kenny told me.
Kenny is a liar. Kenny is a liar.
Kenny, you can't stand by and let this man call you a liar.
I take offense to that. I am not a liar. You absolutely licked your sandwich in my car on the way to Fort Worth. Mason Dashiell can verify.
Oh
You're
my
cleaning
God.
that
You
sucker
chill
up,
out.
dude. You're cleaning it up.
Kenny, what did that do for you?
It got my chili hot.
So, yes, we had a good Friday night overall. We got to make fun of me, which it seems to be, and seriously, I'm a good sport. It seems to be a lot of people's favorite pastime. And I'm okay with that.
Don't do
No.
woe is me.
No. It's not a pity
Come
thing. It's not a pity
on.
thing. I just framed it as to where it's not a pity thing. I can be an easy target, and I get that. And I it's funny.
Okay.
At least I'm not like, what'd you say, dude? I don't get easily offended. You can vouch.
Same here. I'm cool.
Okay.
I'm pretty cool.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
I learned on Saturday night your buddy Michael, who I played pickup with.
Yeah, well, you've talked about it a couple of times.
Michael's substantially cooler than you, like substantially. They're just a way better hangout than you.
Okay, well let's rewind a little bit and get to that point. So Saturday night at High Cotton Brewery. Shout out again to High Cotton.
It was a great time.
Were a hell of a host on Saturday night. Bluff City Media hosted a Grizzlies watch party for Grizzlies Lakers game 3. And like I said,
34-9 first quarter.
35-9, but yes.
Was it 34 or 35?
It's 35.
35.
It's
34.
35.
Okay, whatever.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. I just love you.
Grizzlies just didn't get to 10 points. I think that's more of the point here.
That is more of the point. But anyway, High Cotton, incredible host for us on Saturday night.
Great beer.
They were incredible. Everyone seemed to love their craft beers. Gabe Kuhn was there in the flesh.
Yes.
Kenny was there. Pretty much the whole Bluff City Media team that's local, other than like Trey and TJ, because they have kids and a couple other people that couldn't make it for specific reasons. The majority of the Bluff City Media team was there, which was awesome. And yeah, we just got to hang out, watch the game. Guys did a pre and post game show. That was killer. They did a great job with
giveaways throughout the night.
We gave away. Kenny, do you know the number? It was probably like 8 to 10 t-shirts and a few hats and some other stuff, some memberships.
If I remember correctly, I think it was like 12 maybe, but somewhere in that 8 to 12 area.
Yeah. So we did a lot of giveaways. We had a really, really fun time. Don't you think, Gabe?
Oh, hell yeah. I had a great time, man.
Yeah, you did.
Had some folks out. After, I had about 4 or 5 beers sitting there over a couple hours.
Yeah.
Felt pretty good.
Met us in the parking
They were
lot.
stronger beers than I expected, by the way.
Met us in the parking lot for a beer.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we walked in together. It was fine.
Yeah. We had a good time.
Yeah.
You got to meet not all my friends, but
Yeah,
a
most
good
of them.
chunk of my friends.
Yeah.
I think I had
They're fun folks.
5 friends come with me. And you took to Michael quickly.
Michael's my guy, man. Although when we exchanged numbers, he put a last name in there that if he's watching this, he needs to change. We might have beef.
You were offended by
We
that.
might have some beef if he doesn't change my last name. It's cool though. It's all right.
I think you put the same offensive name.
Well, yeah, 'cause he started it. He started it.
I know you ever would have mind.
Yeah, he started it, and I got to participate.
But yeah, we had a great time. Gabe had a lot of fun with my friends, that's for sure. And I'm
Okay.
just saying, like,
Okay.
you got to hang out with my friends and you enjoyed it.
Cool folks,
Good time.
man. Cool folks.
It wasn't a
Y'all
good,
did roll up like what 5 deep in
6.
one car. Y'all had one big truck. Whose truck was it?
Chases.
Thing's huge.
It is quite large truck.
Yeah, it is. Just notice that.
I think you noticed that pretty
Y'all
early.
rolled out of there quick too. I mean, y'all were just one after the other. I said,
Yeah.
how many damn people y'all have in that thing?
Yeah, we had went to Aldo's before.
Good spot.
Yeah,
Good
got
choice.
some pizza. Boys had some drinks. Boys had some drinks before Aldo's on the way to Aldo's. So
Oh wow.
yeah, boys were about half lit when we
Boys
got
were
there.
buzzing.
Yeah, boys were about half lit when we got there. But yeah,
But not you, because you don't drink.
nope.
What a guy.
I tried some of their beers,
What a guy.
but not for me. I'm definitely not.
You're not a beer drinker.
No, I'm
So
not. Yeah, I mean, think about like not drinking beer and then trying like craft beers like
Oh, yeah,
IPAs.
no question. Yeah.
Ugh, it's
Yeah.
tough. It's like not drinking and then hitting some scotch or something.
If you were to drink, what would your drink of choice be? Something sweeter?
No, I don't like sweet stuff. Like hurts my stomach. I
Okay.
told you like I guess this is kind of sweet, but it's not like a rum or something like that. Salted caramel, Old Smoky.
Okay.
That's what I used to drink back in the day.
Oddly specific. We rock on.
Yeah, I'm pretty picky. I mean, yeah, clearly
Yeah, yeah.
this.
You and your mayo.
Right.
Mayo fetish too.
So if I'm gonna be picky with food, I gotta be picky with
Mayo Old Smoky. I know they got a lot of flavors.
buy
Get
them
you a
out.
Mayo flavored. Old Smoky makes the it's moonshine, right?
They have moonshine, but then they have like whiskeys as well.
Yeah, mayo flavored whiskey. Sounds like right up your alley, brother.
That shouldn't be up anyone's alley.
Okay, good.
So yeah, we had a lot of fun Saturday night. It probably would have been a lot more fun if the game would have been good, because even when the Grizzlies were, making a comeback,
The loudest cheer of the night was when they got to double digits. They had
Yeah.
9 in the first quarter. Finally got to double digits, and everybody erupted.
but it was fun. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun.
I think you had a lot of fun. I think everybody had a good time that came out. We had a pretty good little showing.
Yep, sure
So
did.
be on the lookout. We may have another one on Friday.
We just don't want to bring bad luck, right? Isn't that the
Yeah,
idea?
we just don't want to be those dudes that we're just cursed. But there could be another one this weekend. So on Friday. So
Yep.
be on the lookout. If you didn't get to come to this one,
Show up.
I say you should come through.
Pull up.
92.9's Gabe Kuhn will be there.
Bluff City Media.
Bluff City Media / 92.9's Gabe
Yeah.
Kuhn will be there. I mean, how could you miss that opportunity? I mean, how many autographs did you sign on Saturday?
None. I told everybody. I said it's not now.
Not today.
I said not
today.
now. Seriously,
And even if I was,
I'm hanging with my friends. Relax.
okay, don't beat me down over this. I'm out in public. Come on. I have signings for this.
I'm kidding. That didn't happen.
It
That
happened.
didn't happen.
It happened.
Okay.
A lot of people knew who you were.
Yeah. So what's on the docket today? What we got Tigers wise?
We really didn't have much at all until today. We had a couple of things come out for the Memphis basketball program. First off, Johnathan Lawson enters the transfer portal this morning, and then later in the afternoon, Ty-Laur Johnson decommitted. But let's start with Johnathan Lawson. What do you think about that? What was kind of the initial reaction?
I'm surprised, honestly, but I mean, when you frame it by the role he had last year, 15 minutes per game, shot 41% from 3, and they were dying for 3-point help, and he still couldn't really crack the rotation consistently. I guess he had questions about his role, and they're fair questions, and it sounds like he didn't quite get the answer he wanted or the clarity he wanted. So he's going to try to find opportunities elsewhere, and I think he should have opportunities elsewhere. He's got a really good skill set. I'm sad to see him go, honestly, because I thought this was a guy after a red shirt, after a freshman year where he got a little bit of a run. I figured he could step in that right direction. He's a holdover, one of the very few holdovers from the roster last year. So I figured he could step into a role and bring some people along as he's getting older. That's not going to happen. And I think always with these conversations, like when somebody transfers out, it's harder to take when it's a Memphis guy, right? Like that's always the tough part of recruiting locally, is when those guys want to inevitably hop into the transfer portal. It becomes tougher to take that hit, if you will, because they're local and people attach themselves to them.
Yeah, I mean, people in the city of Memphis been watching Johnathan play for how many years? I mean, everyone's known about Johnathan Lawson since he was pretty much in middle school because of, Diedrich and KJ and just the Lawson family in general. So definitely a tougher pill to swallow when it's a local guy that's been here forever. And you mentioned this one kind of stung a little bit, and I think obvious. I mean, this is pretty obvious, but just to put it out there, it's clearly because of the potential and not the production.
Yes.
15 minutes a game, a little over 3 points per game. That we saw flashes. We talked about it all year. There would be games where we were like, okay, Johnathan may be coming into his own, and it just never really fully materialized. It was very inconsistent throughout the year. But as you're kind of alluding to, with age, I think we all expected that to get a little bit better, and that consistency begin to become more in focus and be able to see him blossom into the player that he has the potential to be. Because with his length, with his size, with his 3-point shooting ability, as you mentioned, there's gonna be a market for him because there is so much potential there. A 6'6", 6'7" guard/wing that can shoot, has the length and athleticism. Like, I can definitely see why this one hurts, because we expected an expanded role for him going into 2023. But at the same time, the question kind of comes up: did they over recruit him? Did they recruit over him? Is that what he felt like? I mean, what do you think, that he could have felt that way, that they brought in too many guys? Caleb Mills, TFAO Leonard, some of these guys that could be getting minutes at the 2 and 3.
Jonathan Pierre, I think, is another guy who's very can handle the ball, can get off the bounce, decent 3-point shot. Like, I almost think, considering age and what he's been able to accomplish, I know he's a D2 guy. Like, I feel like he'd get the same, if not more of a shot than Johnathan going into next year. But yeah, I guess he could. There was some thought of that, but that doesn't mean that you can't compete, right? And I feel like Johnathan was going to get a pretty, at least fair shot to carve out a role next year. The reason he didn't really play this year as much is because it felt like on the defensive end he had his struggles, and he just didn't really know what was supposed to be. He didn't understand what Penny wanted to have him get done on the defensive end.
He played like a young player this year.
And he was out of place a lot of blow-bys, some issues on the defensive end, but he's got some length and athleticism to be okay on that side. And honestly, there was times this year where he'd get beat and recover by going and blocking a shot.
Yeah.
So, like, he's got some ability there. But I guess I could see where he could have thought that they're recruiting over him. But in the end of the day, he's a guy who's been on campus, that Penny may have a little bit more trust for because he's actually been here, understands everything, is from the city. I don't know. I don't know if he should have felt that he got recruited over, if you will. But I would imagine there were some conversations behind closed doors about what your role will be, and maybe he didn't like the answers that he got.
And it also sounds like Chandler's staying, which I think a lot of us probably knee-jerk reaction expected.
Yep.
When Jonathan hit the portal, it was like, okay, well,
I was glad to see that.
Chandler's got to be, and that was what I was going to ask.
No burn bridges, right?
How did you feel about that? Did that kind of shock you that we get reports not long later? I think a couple people put it out. Was John the first one? John Martin, was he the first one to put it out? I think he was too. Said that he spoke with Keelan and said that Chandler was staying. See, what did you? I mean, were you shocked?
I like that. I mean, that was one of my first thoughts about what I saw Johnathan get. And I said, okay, what's going to happen with Chandler? Now, Chandler again is like, there's one more year for him. He's transferred already. What would his market look like? So I could sort of understand where, like, getting in the transfer portal. And he had a pretty
big role this year.
Yeah, getting in the transfer portal is like, why? What would be the reasoning behind that? But no, I'm glad to see that it's clearly not like a bridge being burned. It's just Johnathan saying, I want better opportunity somewhere else. And that's fine. In this day and age, college basketball just happens, right? But to see that with the Lawsons, who have been a really big basketball family in this city for a long damn time, to see that you don't have that bridge burn is always I think a positive. It's a positive.
Yeah.
Where at one point I thought there was kind of a bridge burn when Tubby was here and everything else. I mean, there felt like pretty substantial bridges burned at that point. I'm glad Penny didn't burn that one.
Right. Because as you mentioned, if there would have been a bridge burn, if there would have been some big blow up behind the scenes, I highly doubt Chandler would be staying. So it's got to be a situation where Johnathan feels like, greener pastures, bigger role at a different school. And that's totally fine. He's still got multiple years left in his collegiate career, young player that has plenty of time to develop. So I know it stings a little bit because this is a player that we all kind of expected to step up at some point, and he could, but it's more than likely not going to be at Memphis unless somehow he decides
he gets right back in,
out of the transfer portal. Decides to come back.
But this does open up another spot to go recruit. You have a couple more weeks here before May 11th in the transfer portal to go make something happen. And I have learned not to bet against Penny Hardaway, even on short notice, right? Even last year, some of the names he got out, you didn't really think that highly of, but he got the most out of him this year. But no, I wouldn't bet against Penny, even with this scholarship back opening up and him going to find somebody. I think there's probably some people still out there that they have their eye on that they're ready to go get.
Feels like he's always got an ace up his sleeve.
Yeah, he does.
Every time in his tenure, when everyone's been like, oh my gosh, and everyone's freaking out, and it's like, oh my goodness, this season's going to be terrible. And then it's like, boom, he makes magic happen. And it's like, okay, no need. We can breathe easy. We can relax. So I'm not going to be surprised when
you say ace. Is that like a playing card? You're talking about a playing card up the sleeve? What are you talking about?
Isn't that the saying?
Is that a saying?
That's a saying.
Is there talking
Kenny,
about
is that a
cards,
saying?
So?
That's a saying, Christian.
Is there ace? I've never really heard that one. I mean, I think I've kind of
an ace up his sleeve. You never heard that?
Like a magician, right? Like always got.
No, it's somebody who's at a card table who's cheating. Got an ace up their sleeve.
Here's the point I was going to make. This is why I ask it. Okay. Because even when he doesn't have the ace, he may go a card down and have a king. He may go a card down and have a queen, but he's got something there.
Something's up his sleeve.
He's going to pull it out. It's likely going to be a face card too.
Yeah, he's not pulling twos out of his sleeve. He's not
pulling twos out. Yeah. So there's always a plan.
Yeah.
Even if it's not the A plan.
Yeah, he's shown throughout his career that he can pivot pretty quickly and have a solution to an issue, even if he didn't foresee it coming.
We saw this one coming though for a while. Ty-Laur Johnson decommitting today. That he could have signed a while ago. I think there's something else going on there. And two, where else is he going to be able to commit to?
I don't know.
Not here.
Yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting.
They don't have. I mean, with Mikey potentially on the way out of this recruiting class, they need a point guard. They need somebody to take on a backcourt role.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that situation pans out. I've
been hearing this one for a while though.
And I mean, we have a little bit more than we're leading on here, but just out of respect, we're not gonna.
I don't think it's cool.
I don't think it's cool to dig into some of the specifics behind the scenes that have went on, but it will be interesting to see how that shakes out. And as we mentioned with Johnathan, it's another scholarship. So what is that now? What's the number now? Didn't Penny say 3?
He said 3. It'd go to 4 because this was unexpected.
Yeah.
So he'd had 4 spots. 4 scholarships is what he foresees.
That's a lot of spots left to fill with.
Unless he was counting Johnathan in that 3 count, which I can't imagine he was.
I can't imagine he was either. It wouldn't make
the way I saw it is Ty-Laur, Mikey, and Malcolm being gone, so he had 3 open. I would say 4.
Unless this is the one he was counting. Who the hell knows? Who the hell knows?
But whatever, 3 or 4 is what it seems like he's working with, and that's a lot of space.
It's a lot of space, man. And I mean, I know some people at this point are like, "Is there any talent left in the portal?" Yes, there's plenty of talent. There is plenty of talent left.
There's
in the portal.
folks out there.
Yeah, I mean, I think 247 has like 230 guys that are ranked. And I think there's been, are we over 2,000 for entries into the portal?
I think we've been close to that for a long time. Yeah. I don't know if it's 2,000 though, because college basketball is a little different. There was a point on 3 had reported there was 20% of all scholarship Division I basketball players were in the portal.
That's absolutely absurd. So
that's a fifth. One of every 5
college players
on scholarship was in the portal.
So that means almost 3 players per team are in the portal.
That's crazy.
So if the question is, are there players out there? The answer is yes, absolutely. And he's still got 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks to work with, which for Penny, that seems like a lot of time.
That's an eternity.
Seems like a whole lot of time. So a little bit of movement on the basketball front. We'll see where it ends up, man. I mean, it's got to shake out over the next couple weeks. We'll have to learn something about Mikey. We'll have to learn something about how many spots he fills. And within the next few weeks, we'll really know what this. We thought 2 weeks ago we knew what this roster looked like.
Yeah.
We thought 2 weeks ago we were like, okay, there's probably
you never know what a damn roster is going to look like
No.
year to year.
But we
No
felt
damn
we
idea.
felt like, hey, maybe there's only 2 spots left, so the bones of this roster feels
are
put
all
together.
Yeah, but nope.
And now it's
Hell
like,
no. Well, the Mikey Williams thing's wild, though.
absolutely,
Right? So
yeah.
it's like,
That definitely blew a hole through it a little bit, but
yeah,
I'm excited to see how it shakes out
Yeah.
because this is like these situations are when it's the most fun to watch Memphis basketball
because you got to
recruiting.
do it real quick.
You got to do it real quick, and I feel like a lot of fans for teams around the country would expect like, okay, well, we just got to fill the freaking spot. Penny doesn't just go and fill spots. Like he fills the spots typically with dudes,
Yeah,
and it's like splashy.
yeah.
So
We'll see.
he's got a couple weeks to work some magic, and I'm not betting against
Like
him.
when he got Monty Bates late,
Right,
To
Right.
reclassify and Jalen as well.
right.
Yeah, that's something. Did
Yeah.
you see? By the
that's
way,
something.
I'm sorry to change this.
Go
I
for
have
it.
to say it. Amani Bates declaring for the NBA draft
Yes,
today.
I did.
He's 56, I think, is his ranked by ESPN.
Was it
Yeah,
still on the 19?
I don't give a damn. I mean, I'm sorry. I wish the best for Amani. I just
Don't see it.
how many damn questions do I have? I don't think he's that athletic for the NBA level.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem to have the interest necessarily to cover. Like I don't know who he would defend. And going and finishing at the rim is just he's skinny and the athleticism part. And like, I don't know. I think it's weird too to be like a number 1 recruit and have your dad sort of in the picture the whole time, and you were viewed as baby KD, and now in all likelihood you're either going to be a late second round pick or undrafted, and you sort of have to walk the green light, and given what you've wanted throughout your basketball career, now he's got to go to the G League and earn every damn bit of playing time, any role he gets for the rest of his career.
Yeah.
He's gonna have to earn it.
Where
That's never been in the books for him,
different
man.
situation.
That's never
Completely
been.
different.
That's
Yeah.
like even in the G League, he's probably. I mean, as a late second round pick, undrafted guy, like you're not going to get the most minutes on the team unless you show in camp that you're just a absolute baller.
Yep.
So
Some of these dudes
you got to go earn it.
Some of these dudes have long falls or far falls from grace, you know.
It just
tough.
to see that's a quick one.
Oh,
that was a year and a half. And that man
From
went from
projected
top 10 pick to maybe undrafted.
Maybe undrafted. That's the way it happens, though. So, Gabe, real quickly, I know we don't have a lot to talk about this because it just,
Friday
it
Night
is what
Stripes.
it is. But what did you think about Friday Night Stripes?
I thought defensively was the thing I noted. It was like 10-7 was the final score.
Pretty low score.
Barn burner, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. Up and down the field. No, but I thought defense has some juice, like the secondary especially. Seeing Malik Feaster, Jalen Johnson, seeing
Simeon Blair.
Simeon Blair's
Big fella.
big swole guy, man. But those guys really covered really well. And I was impressed with their ability. They had a couple of picks on Tevin Carter. I think defensively, I was more impressed than anything I saw on the offensive side. I guess offensively, Demir Blankumsey jumped off the page with a deep ball from Tevin Carter where he had to break a couple tackles.
Biggest play of the game.
Sutton Smith
Looked good.
had some juice inside
Yep.
the tackles, outside the tackles, split him out and throw him the ball. Like he has some playmaking ability.
I like his game a lot. I don't see how he's not going to be the starter. We didn't get to see Blake Watson, so we don't know what he looks like, from in-game perspective.
We didn't get to see Tosky Dove either, although he's big as hell.
He is a monster.
I mean, I guess we got to see him.
We got
but
to see him,
not
but
in live action.
not to see him play. But I feel like it's gonna be hard for someone to beat Sutton Smith out, man. He looks awesome. Unless Blake Watson is just incredible, which we just don't know. We didn't get to see him.
Here's the other thing I wanted to say, and I know it's a spring game, so again, like some of these things you just take with a grain of salt, but I wanted to see a little bit more of the playmaking ability I've been hearing from the coaches from Rock Taylor.
Yeah.
They didn't really get him involved all that much.
Right.
So that was interesting to see.
Yeah. But I mean, honestly, offensively, no one really played extremely well. But that's what they say, right? I mean, you play football for a long time. They always say the defense.
It was kind of weird to see the intra-squad game the way it was too, because they were really mixing and matching on the O-line
a lot. Yeah.
Like you can't really pick out the O-line and be like, they were playing starting O-line on that. No, they were mixed and matched as hardcore as you could imagine.
So, and then you're playing with groups of different, of guys that you're not used to playing next to. But as I was kind of talking about what they always say at every level of football, the defense is going to be ahead of the offense.
Yeah.
It's just the way it's spring camp, fall camp, it's just the way it is.
Here's the thing. The fans the past couple of years, like you see the offense taking regression. You want to push that out on the forefront and have your offense balling in the spring game to give your fans a little bit of happiness. But at the same time,
that's the difference between you not playing like 1v2s and stuff like that. Like everybody's mixed and matched, so it's going to be a little bit different. But overall, it was fine. Yeah. Me and you got down there and watched the offensive line a little bit warm up. They definitely look bigger.
The defensive and offensive line look bigger,
way bigger. Offensive line is freaking huge,
and it's just more depth too. Like there's just more guys,
100%,
which is good news with those positions.
Yeah, I mean they look like they have eight guys on the offensive line, 8 or 9 guys that are fighting for starting spots. That you'd be like, okay, that makes sense if they started.
Like there's finally some Power 5 size.
100%.
Chris Morris looks massive. Good Lord.
Xavier Hill. Massive.
There's some big dudes.
Yeah, they got some big dudes. They got some beef up front.
Some beef.
Yeah.
There you go.
Like that?
Yeah, I do.
I mean,
some beef.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
So overall, it's a spring game. Take it for what it is. It's nothing crazy. It's more for the fans. It's the last hoorah of spring.
By the way, my dog Greg Gaston, how many interviews did he do?
Bro, Greg
was working. This is the first year they haven't had a spring game broadcast for Tiger Sports Network, so he was just doing the sideline interviews.
Greg earned his money on Friday night. Man.
I hope they paid him.
I hope they did. Dude,
he had the night off.
He had to do like 35 interviews. It was like
unbelievable.
It was legitimately like standing on the sidelines. Greg would interview someone and then be on the big screen. They'd cut the camera off.
2 minutes later,
the dude that he interviewed would walk away and basically pass the next guy coming to be interviewed by Greg.
It was unbelievable.
And we were just like, oh my gosh, like this is nonstop. Like Greg is working his butt off down there.
I hope he got paid per interview. Good Lord.
He should have, man.
He could retire if he got paid per interview.
Imagine just like getting done with one and being like, oh, here comes the next one. Who is this guy? Who is this guy? I need to know something about him. Like quickly.
His fun fact is he likes Memphis barbecue, just like the last guy. Cool, yeah.
Crap. Real original, guys. Give me something else.
And yeah, Scott Burns was running around too to get all the guys.
Yeah.
Holding helmets.
Yeah, they had it hustling and bustling down there.
Yeah. I'm glad the rain held off a little bit. It did get cold, but I'm glad the rain held off.
Yeah, I am too. Definitely
I didn't want to be standing out there in the rain.
No. But just like Greg going one after the other, Gabe, you and I are about to go one after the other for the hot 3. Our dog Kenny's got it queued up, and after
Transition King.
After this break, we'll get to the hot 3. What's up, guys? I'm so excited to announce that we have partnered with Coaching for Literacy, and you can read more about them at coachingforliteracy.org or follow them on social media at Coaching for Literacy. Your subscription to Bluff City NIL is 100% tax deductible because of our partnership together. Thank you for supporting Memphis Tiger student athletes and helping promote the monumental cause of childhood literacy.
Oh, these sirens hit different in the new studio, baby. They hit different. Yes.
Different vibe.
Yeah.
I mean, let me ask you. I didn't get a chance to talk very much in that first segment, guys. But what do y'all think about the new studio so far? Y'all liking it?
It's beautiful,
it's awesome.
Dude. It's unbelievable,
yeah, man.
Dude, it is sweet.
It's unreal. And you just posted a picture on Twitter of the shot. The shot looks great.
Yeah, it does. It does. I'm excited to get as many podcasts in here, interviews. It's going to be a good time, man.
You know how they say the camera usually puts on like 5-10 pounds? Feels like it took it off for me.
Dude, you're just
a sexy beast is what you are.
Oh God, thank you guys.
Let's get to it, man. Let's get to the hot 3. Who's ready for the hot 3?
I guess we are.
Okay, let's do it, man. There is obviously, we are filming this on Monday night. There is a game tonight in about an hour, less than an hour. So this whole conversation might be null and void by the time we get done because Dillon Brooks come out and score 45 points, hit the game winner, lock LeBron.
No, I don't think so either.
Lock LeBron up. Counts. Everybody loves him again. But let me ask you guys a question. Hot three. Obviously, Dillon Brooks has created. I mean, there's just been an uproar, a shitstorm, if you will, of stuff around Dillon Brooks. What are you guys' thoughts, man? I know our own BCM's own Joe Molinax wrote a story, an insider piece saying that basically it's time for Dillon and the Grizzlies to part ways. What are y'all's thoughts?
Well, the Grizzlies have been trying to part ways with him for like 2 to 3 years, right? You try to go get OG Anunoby. You try to trade for Mikal Bridges, 4 first-round picks for Mikal Bridges. You want a better option.
Yeah.
So I think the best iteration of the Grizzlies will probably be without Dillon Brooks. I think he's offensively very inefficient. He's in a very weird headspace right now where he feels like he can go talk trash to LeBron James and then completely flop. I mean, just the whole team, him flopped after that. And I feel like it worked against them in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Oh, it riled the Lakers fans up for sure.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think that I have come to my wits' end to a certain extent with Dillon Brooks. It's just annoying to see him talk all that trash and then come out thinking he has to go prove a point and put up 13 shots in the first half.
Yeah.
And then get kicked out after 19 minutes after hitting LeBron. It was incidental. I don't think obviously. But you're going to get ejected for that. There's been a precedent set. But he came out acting like he was going to prove something offensively to LeBron. No. That's not what you're there to do, brother. There's other people that can create offensively, and it's not Dillon Brooks time all the time.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest DB fan. I love the persona. Like, I love the wrestling.
I think you need that type of guy.
Yes, I love the wrestling heel persona. I love that he embodies it. And I am a fan of trash talk, always have been. But I believe if you do it, you got to back it up. You have got to back it up. You can't be out there throwing strays at LeBron James and not back it up.
Yeah, no, and LeBron in the series is shooting 60%.
Right.
Dillon's a primary defender.
Right.
So, he thought he was going to go prove it offensively. He hadn't proved it defensively to LeBron James.
No. And as you mentioned, he made it through like 17 seconds of the second half and was 3 of 13
and
he's picking
up LeBron full court.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you're trying to be a pest, but why?
Yeah.
There's no real reason.
Yeah. I've never been a huge Dillon Brooks guy just because of the offensive inefficiency. I know he's at times is an incredible perimeter defender, and I give him that. I'm not trying to say that he's some terrible player or something. He has ability, both ends of the floor. We've seen him get hot offensively and have really good stretches.
Not
offensively.
this year, really, though.
Not this year, really. But in the past, we've seen him have some really good offensive stretches. But I've never been a big DB guy because I think when he gets in these modes, like when he wants to talk and when he wants to, draw all this attention, it makes him take shots. Like,
and it makes him a little more selfish on the offensive end, for sure. He took one more shot than Jaren did the entire game.
Right. And played
19 minutes
and played one half.
There was a time though when Dillon Brooks had to be a creator, when Desmond Bane wasn't who he was, when they didn't have Luke Kennard, when John Morant was not who he was, I guess, yet.
Yeah.
When Jaren wasn't who he has been on the offensive end.
Right.
And he still can't get over that. It feels like he still has it in his head that, hey, if certain things break down, I can go create a bucket for myself. And I don't think that's what he needs. He should not be asked to do that. The other thing that really bothers me is he does all this, goes after LeBron, hit Donovan Mitchell in the nads earlier in the year. He's trash talked his way through this year after games. I mean, all the reporters go wait for Dillon, even though he's the last one ready every night, but they wait for him because they want to get a quote from him.
Yeah.
But the thing that bothers me is he blamed it on the media. He said, basically, let me find the quote exactly here. I have it pulled up. And he was talking about he's being painted as a villain by the media and fans. He said, I've been dealing with this for 2 years now. It is what it is. Brother, you're the one who created that. Don't blame anybody else. Don't pass the buck to anybody else for what you have done.
Yeah.
You're the one who decided you wanted to talk trash to LeBron James.
Yeah.
You're the one who decided you wanted to go after Donovan Mitchell. You're the one who's created this persona.
Draymond Green.
No one with Draymond Green. No one else created this.
Yeah.
No one. Don't talk about the media creating something unfairly that you're not trying to portray. You're clearly trying to portray that. And I didn't take very kindly to that. Also, after the game, he avoided the media. Brother, if you're going to talk that spicy after game 2 to LeBron James, you better buck up even in that moment and show up to the media availability.
100%.
I think that's just soft. I really do.
If you're gonna talk when you're on the mountain and that's your persona, and that's what you do, then you got to talk in the valleys.
I've never been this incensed with Dillon Brooks. I feel like Dillon Brooks to this point is part of the reason this team's been ahead of schedule in contending in the West. But I think going forward, you need less of this, less of the distraction, less of the eyes of the NBA on Memphis for negative reasons. You know what I mean? You need somebody else that's more efficient on the offensive end who can provide you the same thing defensively and who maybe is less of a distraction. Yeah. I've truly believed that. And I've believed that for a while. And clearly the Grizzlies do too. The Grizzlies have tried to find a better option there. Yeah. And I mean, they drafted Zaire Williams, number 10, a couple years ago for his upside offensively and defensively. And obviously that didn't pan out, but they have tried
to fill
that void that they feel like they have with Dillon Brooks.
100%.
And it's understandable. I get it.
I'm in the same boat with them. I think they'd at this point better off without him. All right, Kenny. Number two, big news dropped. It's been talked about for literally the entire offseason. The rumors of Aaron Rodgers no longer being with the Green Bay Packers, and that the New York Jets was going to be the destination spot for him. Well, it finally dropped today. It happened. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers, one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever put on a uniform. What do y'all think about that trade? Is it going to be weird seeing Aaron in another uniform? What are y'all's thoughts?
I think it's going to be weirder to see Aaron Rodgers in number 8. He's going back to number 8 for his Cal days.
Yeah. Yeah, it said that Joe Namath gave him the clearance to wear number 12. Obviously, Joe Namath won a Super Bowl with the Jets back in the 60s wearing number 12. Is Broadway Joe. He, was like the first true NFL superstar crossover into pop culture symbol. And, is a Jet legend, gave him the clearance, and Aaron obviously showing respect to Joe and saying, no, I'm not going to take that. I'll go back to my number at Cal and wear 8. So that's going to be extremely weird. Kenny, does anybody have
I have it.
You have it pulled up.
Compensation.
Go ahead and give us a compensation.
Jets get Aaron Rodgers, number 15 pick this year, and a 2023 fifth round pick, number 170. Then the Packers get pick number 13. A 2023 second round pick number 42, pick number 207. And then they get a conditional 2024 second round pick that becomes a first if Rodgers plays 65% of the plays, which unless there's an injury, he's going to play 65% of the plays.
So basically, they got him for a 1 and a 2, pretty much. Because that this year, first rounder, it's just a pick swap. It's a two spot pick swap. Green Bay moves up from 15 to 13.
A 2024 1 if he plays 65%, and then a 6th and a 2.
Yeah.
So
basically a 1 and a 2.
Yeah.
Is what we'll call it.
Yeah.
What do you think? I mean, do you think that's good? I mean, do you think the Jets did good with that? This to me, I'll give my opinion.
The Jets did fine.
I think this is a win-win.
Yeah, I think that's fine. Like, people are going to talk about the Packers getting fleeced because it's Aaron Rodgers with an MVPs over his head and he's won a Super Bowl. But he's 38, going on 39. How many years is he going to play with the Jets? The Jets can't. Yes, the Jets are mortgaging, I guess, a little bit of their future to go get him. But if they only get 1 or 2 years of him, there's no reason to be giving up multiple first-round picks for this guy. If he was in the middle of his career and he was 30, sure.
100%.
Yeah, wager away a bunch of first-round picks. But you can't give away too much draft capital for a guy who's been very in and out for the last 3. And his mold retirement already.
Yeah, but, I mean, this feels quite similar to the Patriots-Bucks deal. Just saying, like, with Tom Brady, transitioning from New England to Tampa Bay, we know that Aaron Rodgers is not going to play 5 to 10 more years. Yeah. We know he's only got a couple of years left. But if in that time the Jets get a Super Bowl, then it's all good, because that's exactly what the Bucks.
But if they don't?
I mean, if they don't and they're successful and they go to the playoffs and they win some games, still success, because the Jets haven't seen playoff success since freaking Mark Sanchez.
I think you better take advantage quick, though. Like,
100%.
You have to, because then you don't know who else you're going to – because now you really have no idea after him what you're going to do at the quarterback position. You have a team that I think theoretically is ready to win now. Top 5 defense last year.
Yep.
Sauce Gardner was a first-team All-Pro as a rookie. You have Quinnen Williams. Did he get paid already, or is he going to get paid pretty big?
I think he got paid.
He got paid already. And then on the offensive side of the ball, you have some young weapons. Garrett Wilson, Corey Davis is still there. Brees Hall,
Michael Carter.
Like, you have a bunch of dudes, and the whole line could be decent if they get healthy.
I wish they wouldn't have traded Elijah Moore now, though.
Yeah, that'd have been cool.
Yeah.
And they have Alan Lazard, too.
Yeah, they did. They got Alan Lazard and McCole Hardman.
Yeah, who Aaron Rodgers is very familiar with Alan Lazard. And Alan Lazard struggled because he didn't have Devontae Adams next to him.
He didn't have a 1. He was the one, and he's not
to
a
take
1.
away that type of coverage away from him.
So
you can bracket a guy like that and take him away.
They've got weapons. Mekhi Becton will be coming back after
AVT. Elijah Vera Tucker coming back.
Elijah Vera Tucker coming back, also really good.
Helpful.
Up and coming young guard. Mekhi Becton. They were extremely high on him last offseason. They said he finally got his condition and his weight under control. And then, was it week 1? No, it was training camp, right? He's only played like 4 games in the league.
He's been good when he's been on the field.
He's just never been on the field.
Never on the field.
I think he may have played 2 or 3 games in his career.
No, he's played more than that, I think. Let me check it out.
You can look at it, but I'm pretty sure he got hurt early in his rookie year, and then he missed this entire season. I think he
did this entire
What was
season.
it? What was it this year? Was it ACL?
I have to look it up. No, he's played 14 games.
14 games
altogether.
Okay.
And he missed all this year.
Missed all this year. Yeah, it was in training camp. Missed the entire season.
What did happen to him, though?
I can't remember exactly what the injury
I think it was pretty damn bad.
I think it was, too. I think it was pretty substantial.
It was a knee injury.
Knee injury.
It was just a knee injury.
Yeah.
So it was ACL or something.
So let's go to Green Bay for a second. Is this obviously it's Jordan Love's team now?
Yep.
Is this a rebuild, or is this?
I think
they think they're good.
I think it's a mini rebuild. I think it's a 1 to 2. Yeah, retool. 1 to 2 year retooling.
If Jordan Love falls flat and he's terrible, yes, it's a rebuild.
Yeah,
you have to go rebuild.
Yeah, you have to.
But
they've shown a ton of confidence in Jordan Love, and when he played this year,
here's my question: did they show a bunch of confidence, or did they just resign themselves to the fact that Aaron Rodgers was gone and they're going to have to go forward?
And that could
with
be
him,
maybe
right?
that was just the way they had to publicly represent him, but.
I don't think Jordan Love's up. I mean, we haven't seen him play enough, but I don't think he's bad.
I don't either, because I mean he's still a young guy. What will this be? His 4th year, I believe.
Something like that.
4th or 5th year. He's been in the league a minute.
Not 5th.
I think it's 4th. It's either 3rd or 4th. Guys, we don't have our laptops anymore since switching to this new studio. So sorry for the ups and downs of us not knowing what the hell's going on. But regardless,
this will be his 3rd year.
This will be his 3rd year.
Yeah.
So I think he only played 1 game his rookie year.
He's only attempted 83 passes.
Right. But this year when he played, I believe it was on a Thursday night game.
Yeah.
He played
solid,
extremely well.
He's not bad.
No, I mean,
there's a reason they traded up
right in the first round to get him. Dude's got serious arm talent. But the thing is that sucks for him is the cupboard has been left pretty dry.
No Alan Lazard.
It was Devontae Adams, Alan Lazard, Randall Cobb, Robert Tonyan. All those guys are gone. Maybe Cobb's back. I'm not sure, but that's not really a needle mover. Alan Lazard gone. Obviously, Devontae Adams left before last season. Robert Tonyan's gone. You still got the 2-headed monster in the backfield with Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. But receiver-wise, you're pretty much left with Christian Watson.
Who can turn into something.
I mean,
now.
Yeah,
come on now.
I'm with you. But they've got
Romeo Dobbs had some moments, although very sparing.
Yeah. So it's a young core offensively. The offensive line wasn't necessarily great last year. We know that offensive line that was incredible a few years ago. Brian Bulaga, David Bakhtiari, guys like that are old and gone.
Bakhtiari's getting older. He's still good. Elgin Jenkins has slowed down. He's not very good anymore.
No.
I do think the thing that helps the Packers right now is I know their defense has been it has not lived up to the hype. It's not been a top 10 defense in the NFL. But they have some dudes over there.
They've got pieces.
They have some pieces. Like Devontae Campbell's a stud.
Rashawn Gary.
I'm a decent fan of Kenny Clark.
Jair
I played him in
Alexander.
college. Quay Walker they drafted last year. They're back. They're D-backs. Jair Alexander is one of the best corners in the game when he's at his peak. Like they still have some dudes on the defensive side of the ball. That's why I don't want to call it a full rebuild, because I think if you retool, get some wide receivers in there, try to rebuild that O-line. Yeah. If Jordan Love's worth a damn, you could still be a playoff team.
Yeah. Who was the other guy they drafted? They had 2 first-round picks.
Devontae Wyatt.
Devontae Wyatt, both Georgia guys,
Yeah.
Quay Walker and Devontae Wyatt. Yeah, so they've got talent defensively. They still haven't put it all the way together. Jair struggled a little bit last year after coming back from the ACL injury, but I don't think it's not overnight, but I don't think it's a it's not a Texans rebuild by any means. They're in a decent spot if Jordan Love.
And by the way,
out.
sidebar, did you see that the Will Levis is the favorite to be picked second overall? Get though.
Before y'all move to the draft.
Sorry on the sidebar there. Real quick, I did want to bring this up. I'll let you go here in a second, Kenny. The AFC East, though, now with Aaron Rodgers, with the Jets, good Lord have mercy.
It's tough.
That's bad. I mean, we talked about the AFC West last year, and it fell flat on its face, but I think we didn't take into consideration that those coaches are a bunch of fools.
Yeah.
Brandon Staley and Nathaniel Hackett and Josh
McDaniels,
and they didn't have defense for real.
No.
I mean, the Chargers didn't fix their run defense. The Raiders are the worst secondary in the NFL. And, I mean, the Broncos have a good defense, but again,
that
coach was horrible.
Yeah, but in the AFC East, Bills, Jets, Patriots, Dolphins.
And Bill Belichick, Mike McDaniel, who I'm actually a pretty big fan of.
Robert Saleh.
Robert Saleh is really good,
yeah.
and I think that's really.
And then Sean McDermott.
Sean McDermott. Like compared to the AFC West last year, this is the best division.
Way
in
more
football.
confidence. Yeah.
I'm calling this the best division in football already.
Is it not weird though? Like, how similar is this Aaron Rodgers Jordan Love situation to Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers situation with
Pretty
Green
similar.
Bay?
It is kind of creepy. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, but I mean, Jordan Love's got to follow it up and be a good quarterback.
Yeah,
really
if he wants to complete
the one thing that's different though is Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers hated each other, like hated.
Yeah, we're not fans of each other.
Couldn't talk to each other.
Yeah.
Whereas I think Jordan Love and Aaron Rodgers are at least cordial.
A little more respectable.
Yeah, cordial with each other. But no, it's the same damn thing.
Is it wrong? Is it weird to think like with Brett when he went to the New York Jets, he had a couple of good games, right? Like he did well. But did he? It seemed like he fell off pretty quick once he left the Green Bay Packers.
He retired, and then he unretired, and he played for the Jets. Then he retired, then he unretired, and he played for the Vikings.
Yes.
And with the Vikings, he was incredible. He took them to the NFC Championship
Brett
game.
Favre didn't fall off like that.
No, he didn't. He took them to the NFC Championship game against the Bounty Gate Saints, and got walloped for the entire game. But
I mean,
he was one of the best quarterbacks in the league that year. He was incredible.
He had 2 years with the
Vikings,
with the Vikings.
But that year they went to the NFC Championship.
And
2009.
He was miserable his final year in the league.
Yeah,
so I'll give you that. But it wasn't like I think with the Jets he was still a Pro Bowler or something like that.
They were not.
So
I mean, that was a bad Jets team. They went 9-7. They didn't have much talent.
Yeah.
I think that was like Santonio Holmes, LaDainian Tomlinson at
Did
the
he
back.
have Jericho
in his career.
Cotchery?
Probably.
Hell yeah.
Jericho Cotchery was there forever. Lavernius Coles might have been. I think Lavernius Coles was there at the time.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, that was a bad team. Then he went to the Vikings and had AP.
So they had the
Sidney Rice,
transition
Percy
right
Harvin.
after that to like Mark Sanchez, the Jets.
Yeah.
It would have been very shortly thereafter.
Yes. Yeah, they drafted him, I think, that year after Brett left.
So yeah, I mean, he didn't fall off that crazy. I think Aaron Rodgers, especially in this new situation, with sort of getting what he wanted.
Having
He's
a
got
defense.
Al Lazard, good defense. He's going to have a Garrett Wilson, a young wide receiver who caught for 1,100 yards with Joe Flacco,
right?
And Zach Wilson throwing to him. I think Aaron Rodgers can feed him a lot better.
Yeah.
And Aaron Rodgers last year, it was kind of weird. It's just kind of uncomfortable, and he didn't do the work ahead of time to make that situation successful.
And he just didn't have the weaponry, man.
Well, but you saw Christian Watson come along at the end of the year, dude. If you would have got that done in OTAs and tried to be around those guys more, maybe it would have worked out quicker.
Maybe.
But they started peaking at the way too late, and then they end up losing the Lions.
Right.
The Lions are a good team, but I don't know. He didn't go out of his way to make that thing work. He's going to, with the Jets, have to go out of his way to make it work
because it's everybody's new.
Yeah, and they're wagering a lot on this thing working out. They're okay, we're gonna have you for 2 years. We won a championship in those 2 years.
Yeah,
3 years at the most, I'd say, right?
At max.
That you're gonna have him. So you got to go make it work now. And Aaron Rodgers has to take that upon himself. If he wants to go win a championship, go win a championship.
Yep. Last topic, Kenny.
NBA draft. NFL draft.
Come on, man.
My bad, bro. NFL draft this Thursday. I know you guys have been hitting on this for the last couple of months. Do we know? I know you kind of sidebarred it a little bit, Gabe, What do we know about the NFL draft and who's going to go
Bryce Young's
first?
going 1.
Yeah, 100%. Undoubtedly, Bryce Young.
Even though
won.
it's kind of funny, like leading up to it, Frank Reich's never had a quarterback under 6'4".
That is wild.
But Bryce Young throws the ball like he's, I mean, as far as his pocket ability and his processing speed, he might as well be 6'6".
Yeah, he's
Who
awesome.
gives a damn? I mean, we said it the whole time. If you watch these prospects, and CJ Stroud's actually pretty close. If you watch these prospects up next to each
Bryce
other,
Young's
there's no
best.
way you can say Bryce Young's not the best quarterback in this draft, one of the best players in this draft. What he does and his processing speed, even at a smaller, I mean, he's got a smaller frame, but he still puts himself out of harm's way and he can escape really well. Like, there's too much to like about the guy. That number 2 pick, though, I can't even wrap my head around this. You get D'Amico Ryans if you're the Texans for an extended contract. You want to make it work with him, and I think that's a really good hire. I like D'Amico Ryans. Great defensive coach.
Was incredible as a defense
And
coordinator.
he's younger, and I think he can really relate to the players. He can build a good roster. But the fact that I go on FanDuel today,
plus 130.
minus 120,
Minus 120. Okay.
Will
Move.
Levis is the favorite to be the number 2 overall pick to the Texans.
7 days ago, he was plus 3,000.
That's disgusting.
It's
That's
disgusting.
disgusting.
How do you not?
Here's my thing. If you're going to make a pick, you pick CJ Stroud because what he actually showed, if you're going to pick at number 2, I'm saying pick CJ Stroud.
Yeah.
Because if you go get a defensive guy, let's keep Will Levis out of here. You could trade down with some of these. Who knows?
Colts.
The Colts at 4, the Raiders at 7. You could trade down and go get a good defensive guy.
Yeah.
That you can build off of.
Or just take Will Anderson there and don't take Will Levis.
Yeah, just anything
Just
but
don't
Will
take
Levis,
Will Levis.
in my opinion. But
Just don't do that.
But honestly, I think taking Will Anderson there would be kind of foolish too.
Oh, yeah,
if you have
but
if you can trade
can
and
trade
get
back.
more capital,
But way better. Taking Will Anderson is way better
then Will
than
Levis.
taking Will Levis.
Will Levis led the SEC 2 years ago in interceptions. Last year he was second in interceptions, and I get tired of the he was playing behind a bad offensive line. He passed less than most of the damn quarterbacks in the SEC.
Yeah.
There was a run happy offense. They try to get in big personnel, run pro sets. And he threw the most interceptions 2 years ago and the second most last year. No, I'm tired of the damn excuses for the guy. He couldn't beat out Sean Clifford at Penn State.
Yep.
And if he ends up working out, he ends up working out. But damn,
I
number
just
2
don't-
overall,
I don't see it.
I don't think he has upside for that.
And then you're going to take him and put him on the Texans?
Who
which-
don't, I mean,
Who's their number 1 right now? Nico Collins?
well, honestly, probably Dalton Schultz.
Dalton Schultz is their biggest threat.
Yeah.
But as far as receivers go, I'm
Nico
pretty
Collins.
sure Nico's their number 1
Because Brandon
right now.
Cooks is
It's
gone.
gone.
So Dalton Schultz or Nico Collins are your best who you're throwing to. Decent O-line.
Damian Pierce is going to get 500 carries this year.
Can I say this? Rookie year too. Like rookie year for Will Levis. Davis Mills or Will Levis?
I would take Davis
I
Mills.
would probably take Davis Mills,
100%.
man. And like I get like that Will Levis is this physical freak who puts mayo in his coffee for some reason.
Yeah, you think
He's
I'm
a
bad.
psycho.
You think I'm bad.
And he's a big swole guy, and he can probably lift a lot, and he can throw it a quarter mile. But I mean, what on film really moves you?
Nothing.
Like it's the processing speed. I've seen him make a lot of mistakes,
Bad
mistakes,
bad throws.
and honestly, easy concepts to understand too in that Kentucky offense. It's not like they're
Straight pro style.
They're not reinventing the wheel.
It's an ISO team, man. I mean,
Not that
hand it to
complicated.
C-Rod and let him run
It's
is what
not-
that team was.
It's not complicated, dude.
No.
And it's just annoying because Mel Kiper Jr. is going to push that out.
But
Mel Kiper Jr. loves him some big white quarterbacks.
Yeah, he
doesn't
does.
Jimmy Clausen. Where's Jimmy Clausen
where's
when
Jimmy
you need him?
Clausen at? Yeah. No, it should. This draft actually should be chaos because I was reading about it today. They said like nearly every team only has 15 to 18 first round grades. So this is not
Yeah.
this is not a good top end draft according to most NFL executives and front offices. Which means if they really love someone, you'll see teams go, pew. And if they don't like anybody, you'll see teams fly down the board.
Who are your can't miss guys? Like can't miss.
Can't miss.
Yeah. And I know most NFL draft experts will say, well, there's no such thing as a can't miss.
Oh, there always is. There every year there's pretty much guys that you go, that dude, even if he's not like
He'll be
a
a
Hall
good
of Famer,
player.
he's gonna be a good player. Will Anderson is gonna be productive.
Yeah.
Jalen Carter is gonna be productive. I don't care. I don't care about the off the field stuff. Jalen Carter is an animal.
He
He's going to
is.
be
I
productive.
think those two. I'll give you that.
The corners, I'm not really in love with any of the corners. I think Devin Witherspoon's really good, but
I like
still,
Christian Gonzalez's athleticism.
I like
but
his.
wanna
I
see
don't
more.
like.
He's got some playmaking ability, but
I really like Jackson Smith and Jigba.
yeah, dude, he's the number one. He's wide receiver one to me.
Yeah.
And you know who's my can't miss, and I think I'm surprised you haven't brought up this name, Bijan Robinson.
Oh yeah, okay.
Can't miss.
He
No
is,
doubt.
yeah, he's the top of the list.
Yeah.
Bijan is probably the
Give
best
him a
player.
decent situation, good O-line. He's going
fine.
to cook.
Yeah,
He'll be
absolutely.
a 1,000-yard rusher.
Yeah.
He'll catch for 500 yards a year. He'll be. I mean, next year, no matter what team he's on, that's worth a pretty substantial, heavy look in your fantasy draft.
100%. Yeah, that's
I
going to be
think
at the
he'll
first
ball.
3 round
That's
minimum.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like Bijan.
Bijan is.
And I'm gonna go trenches for you because I think
I didn't think there is one in the trenches. Are you going Peter Skoronsky?
No. I'm not talking tackles because I don't think any of these tackles are can't miss. Paris Johnson, people like. I don't know if
DeJuan
he's can't miss.
Jones.
DeJuan Jones, big. No.
Broderick Jones.
I think Darnell Wright I like more than the process than I like
Darnell.
before the process because
I
he
like
tested
Darnell.
well. But none of those tackles.
John
you know who
Michael
I'm going
Schwartz.
with?
Steve Avila, John Michael Schwartz.
Osiris Torrance.
Osiris Torrance that's a really good one.
Osiris Torrance
He's a
is the one
mauler.
I look at, and it's like, no, and he's very quick on his feet.
Yeah.
He can pull, he can
Yeah.
pass that. And like people will overlook these interior O linemen as can't miss guys when in reality, they nearly always hit because they're not that valued
Creed Humphrey.
in a first round. Creed Humphrey, Tyler Linderbaum. I mean, go down the
Tyler
list
Schmidt. I mean,
of if you have a guard or a center taken in the first round and being projected in the first round, chances are they're going to be great as a rookie and great throughout their career. So,
yep. No, totally
it's
agree.
another one.
Totally agree. It should be fun though. I'm excited for the draft. Should be a ton of fun. I'll be watching it, hanging out with the
Snuck up on
fellas.
us.
Yeah, sure did. All right, guys. Well, we appreciate you for joining us in the new studio. This is freaking awesome. Shout out to the Bluff City
Sweet.
Media team for throwing this
Sweet.
one together. Excited. Can't wait. Everyone head over to bluffcitymedia.co. All of our socials. Stay tuned in for everything that we've got coming down the pipe, and we'll see you guys back here next week.